there, it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts, UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Thank you very much for joining me again today. Today I have got the first of my projects using the gorgeous wood textured May craft box. So let's get started. I have not got a here's one I've prepared earlier. I've planned it, but I'm pretty much putting it together as we go. I am going to place the whole thing on an early espresso card base. So that's just a piece of A4 cut in half and scored in the middle. I've got my usual first size mat, which is 5 5/8 by 3 7/8, 14, that's inches, 14 1/4 by 9 3/4 centimetres. All the dimensions are below. I say all the dimensions, nearly all of the dimensions are below, because I've then cut some pieces of the wood textured paper, and I've cut it so that when I add them together, so when I stick all these, whoops, you can't see the top ones, when I stick all these together, they will measure 5 1/2 by 3 3/4 or 14 by 9 1/2 centimetres. Fingers crossed. So the first thing I am going to do, because when you cut designer series paper, sometimes you get a white edge. The first thing I'm going to do is a bit of just distressing round the side, and it's just so that we don't get that white edge. It's a white core to this particular designer series paper, and it's not a very pretty look. So just soften it down with a bit of crumb cake or whatever other colour you happen to have around. So I hope you are enjoying the idea of my Maycraft kit. I think it's perfect for, obviously, Father's Day, which is coming up in the middle of June. But I also, and this is why I'm using the powder pink, I think it is ideal for female cards as well. We don't always want to have fluffy, flowery things. I think, you know, that's a bit in your face, a bit obvious. I quite like having something that's a little different. If everyone gives me flowery cards, I don't know, it just doesn't give any contrast when you display them. So don't always think flowery. I have hobbies that would normally be, would often be thought of as kind of male hobbies. So in my youth and in my sort of early 20s, late 20s as well actually, I would sail competitively. I used to crew initially with my brother, which was interesting, I have to say, and then I would crew with other people. So sailing I love, and since I met my husband we've been on yachting holidays. So don't just think that something like sailing is only for men, because there are those of us who are women who like them as well. But also my husband and I do masses and masses of cycling. So again, that's often thought of as a male thing. It doesn't have to be. So, and this again, you know, wood doesn't have to be all male. So that's that. Now, to stick them together, I would highly recommend using a dry adhesive, and I'm actually going to do something possibly a wee bit odd. Let's think. Let's plug my brain in. Snail. It's not actually odd at all. I am going to pop snail on the back of my pieces. What I would say is do make sure that you get a good coverage, particularly at the edges. And then just, I've cut this so that it's going to have a 1/8 edge, she says, fingers crossed. But the key is, as I say, to make sure that your ends, particularly the ones that meet in the middle, are well adhered. So that's looking good. I'm actually, shall I put I think I might place everything from now and just make sure that it's all hunky and dory. It should be, because I have measured everything to within an inch of its life, or within an eighth of an inch of its life in this case. Actually, I think it will look better if I do that and that. Or in fact, no, used to be indecisive, and now I'm not at all sure. Let's split that. So we'll pop that there and that there. And then we will have this, nope, this, and this, and then this, and this. So, okay. I might end up just trimming that down a wee bit when we're finished, because it's possibly a little large at the top. I think it's just a large version of my usual mat. Sometimes they come out a little bit different. So let's just pop these down. As I say, it's the ones in the middle that are, and by middle I mean the ones that abut each other, that are probably more important, because you don't want those to, whoops, catch, because then they will look a bit odd. So we've had, I don't know what the weather's going to be like on the day you see this. Where will we be? Hopefully you will be seeing this on Friday. The weather has up until now been really quite good. Today, while I'm filming it's decided to be less than good, but that's fine. But by Friday I think it's supposed to be being a bit better, so that will be nice. And you may possibly, if you click on the link below, assuming everything goes according to plan, you will see my new website. It is supposed to be going live on Friday, so with luck, if you click on the link below, you will see the new website. Now, that is a bit odd, so I am going to trim that down. It's fine, you know, sometimes maths doesn't always work. So just pop that there and trim it down, and it's fine. I'm really not going to stress about that, but it looks lovely. So, okay, let's, linen thread. So in the kit you have got 2 meters of this, because it's quite often nice to wrap it round, and that's what I'm going to do. So there we go. Right, so let's have that there. I'm only going to go around a couple of times, but I think it's quite nice to have a bit of, which I might do 3. So I merrily that's not really the right word. Actually, I'm going to go the other way. I merrily attacked my thread with my bone folder. So when it comes off the card, it's quite often got these annoying kinks in. But if you run it through your bone folder, that will take them out. It'll make it a bit curly, but it will take them out. So I'm going to put the sentiment there, so I'm going to come up a bit to tie a bow, and because I'm thinking of this as being more female than male, it is going to be a bow, not a knot. Again, I don't know why I would think that men don't like bows, but I definitely think that, whoops, that's not a very good bow. It was a good bow, it was just not very tight on the card. So this is where I need 3 hands, and I only have the 2. But yes, I think bows do add a little feminine twist. And on the subject of twist, let's twist that. And just trim it down. Now, I'm not going to stick this to the card just yet, because I may want to adjust where that all ends up. So I am using one of the optional extras, which is the Colourful Seasons stamp set, and a piece of Whisper White, And to bring the pink back in, we're using the powder pink classic ink pad. So, whoops, that's a message coming through. So just ink that up and stamp it down, and it's life is a beautiful thing. So there we go. Life is a beautiful thing. And I've just realised I need another scrap of that, which is fine. I have that here. So, right, so this is the 2-inch circle punch, which just, and I mean just, big enough to punch that out. And then, if I take the Starburst punch and one piece of the powder pink again. Now, if I was using a solid piece of cardstock over the top of this piece, I would punch the Starburst out of the middle, but because this is paper and pieced, I won't, because it will look obvious. So that's that and that. Don't need that anymore. I can clean that with my lovely new Simply Chamois. It needs a bit more water, it's shrunk a bit, so I'll sort that out in a moment. Right, so some more snail, and just pop that on there. And then some dimensionals on the back. Just sort of some, probably don't need quite that many. Let's pop one back. And then, let's see, how does that look? Yeah. Or we could turn it upside down and do it that way. Decisions. I think at the top is probably where I want that, or rather on the left. So what I'm going to do, if you bend your card and do that, you can move your bow. So clever. And just rearrange your bits of thread. Oops, perhaps a little better than I've done it. Used to be good, used to work. You know, sometimes these things work and sometimes they don't. But hey, it wouldn't be me if it all worked first time, would it? So, let's just rearrange that bow. Pop that there, move that there, move that across to there. There we go. Perfect, perfect. Pop that there, bow underneath, I like. Okay, so on the inside, let's see, do we want to stamp anything? We could put just a little leaf. So there is a little leaf in the same stamp set. So let's grab a little block, grab a little baby A block, and is that going to be, yes, that's fine, and some crumb cake, and then just on the inside we will have, let's find a scrap of paper, that'll do, it's shiny but it'll do. Let's have one down here as well. Perfect. Get rid of my scrap of paper and pop it all together. So I'm going to start by gluing this down, and actually I might add some liquid glue as well, because with the linen thread it's not going to be as keen on sticking as it would otherwise. So I'll just need to get a new one of these out. Just add some Tombow multi-purpose. You don't need a lot. And then just pop that so that it's in the middle. I will trim the ends of the thread in a moment when everything's sort of in situ. Those there, and I might have that at a slightly jaunty angle. trim my ends so that they don't dangle below. Pop those in there, and then, yes, you can see. I have to remember whether or not you could, to check whether you can see. Just pop this in here. And we are done. So I think that's a really pretty little card. I don't think that's, you know, male just because it's using wood textures. I think it's really pretty. Now you could also add, if you wanted to, some of the little crafty pieces. So we could pop a heart somewhere. But I don't think it's necessary for this. So I hope you enjoyed that. It gives you a bit of an idea of what you can do with the craft kit. I'll have some more for you. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe, it's the bottom right hand corner. If you would like to order a kit, then jump over to my online to my website, which is linked below. Fingers crossed, please let me know if the link's not working, because as I say, we're doing this whole rejigging nice new shiny website. Then just drop me an email, liz.yuille@artlover.com, and ask for a kit. It's UK only. It's £20 including postage, and you get about £20 worth of product in that kit. So it's an amazing deal. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!